Assalamu alaikum students, welcome back to English class. First open your notebooks. So last class में मैंने reading and explanation की थी of unit 2 5 bells, and I gave you the homework of making a title page and doing the hard words in your notebook. So your title page will be like this: date and day, then English page 24, then in the center you must have written unit 2 5 bells, reading and explanation done. Then in this center part, after the unit and the reading explanation part, you can draw a picture of a bell. You can draw a traditional bicycle bell. Bicycle bells look like this. You can draw one like this, or you can draw a bell in this way, or even like this. So those are some ideas. Just to add some creativity, you can draw a picture here, okay? So title page ke baad, your first exercise was hard words. You have to write each word 3 times. Good. So you have 14 words: holding, thought, perhaps, broken, repair, expensive, entered, assistant, arrived, dustbin, again, quarter, metal, laughing. In 14 words को आपको 3 बार लिखना है. Yes. So after that work is done, you will do exercise word meanings. So these are your 5 words, and we will learn the word meanings of them. So number 1 is perhaps. What does perhaps mean? It is another word for maybe. Yes. So you will write possibly but not certainly. This is the meaning of perhaps. Number 2 is repair. This means the process of fixing something. Okay? When you're fixing something, you call it I'm repairing it. I'm fixing it, I'm repairing it. Number 3, expensive. Having a high price. When things cost more, when they have a high price, they are called expensive. Yes. Number 4 is assistant. It means a helper, acting as a helper. Number 5, quarter. This means divided into 4 equal parts. So if quarter of this time, this means that 1/4 of the time, right? After word meanings, we have exercise make sentences. We have 5 words and you will make sentences of these. I have only given ideas here. You do not have to copy it. आप खुद भी sentences बना सकते हैं. You do not have to copy mine, okay? Number 1 is forgive. I have written, if you say it was a mistake, I'll forgive you. Forgive means किसी को माफ़ कर देना, right? So यहाँ मैंने sentence लिखा है कि अगर आप बोलते हो कि गलती थी, I will forgive you. Now number 2, interested. For interested, I have written, I am very interested in the solar system and space. You can write, I'm very interested in science. I'm very interested in math. Anything like that. You can even write topics. Okay, so interested means किसी चीज़ में आपको दिलचस्पी हो, right? So you can write anything that you're interested in. Number 3 is decided. So I have written, we decided to stop fighting and be friends. Very easy. Decided means कि आपने सोच लिया, आपने एक plan बना लिया, that we decided to stop fighting and be friends. Again, you can write anything you want. Number 4 is expect. I have written, they'll expect you to be confident on stage. इसका मतलब उम्मीद रखना. So here I have written that उनकी उम्मीद होगी कि you will be confident on stage. Okay? Number 5 is careless. I wrote, she's always careless about her things and loses them. Careless basically means किसी चीज़ का ध्यान नहीं रखना, right? So here I have written that she doesn't take care of her things and she loses them. Okay students, these 3 exercises are for your notebook. Now open your textbook where we will do the book exercises. So now come to page number 27. Yahan we have our first exercise called Learn to Read. So these are basically question and answers, and they test कि आपने reading अच्छी तरह से की है या नहीं. So make sure if you do not remember what happened in the story, अगर आपको समझ में नहीं आया, please read it yourself once more. Read these 3 pages and then come back to this exercise and we can do it together. Okay? So if you're ready, let's start. Question number 1 is, how did Ryan's mother sense that something was wrong? So when Ryan was on the table, why did his mother get worried? Because he had his head in his hands, right? So the answer is, she sensed that something was wrong when she saw Ryan holding his head in his hands. Make sure to do this learn to read exercise in your notebook, students, because The questions are given in this way. You do not have space to write it in your book. So question and answers will be done in your notebook, okay? So neatly make a margin and write the question, leave a line and write the answer. Now come to question number 2. Why did Ryan's parents want to buy him something? Very easy. Do you remember his parents were thinking, he's working so hard, I should buy him a gift, right? So the answer is, his parents wanted to buy him something because Ryan had been working very hard. So you have to write a full sentence, okay, and add a full stop. Now question number 3. What was the main reason for the 3 people missing one another in the store? Do you remember where the store was, students? Yes, on a corner. It had 2 doors, one on Main Street and one on Bank Street. So they kept using one door for entering and one door for exiting. So they kept missing each other. So look at number 3's answer. The sports goods store had 2 doors, each on a different street. The 3 people missed one another as they used different doors to enter and exit the shop. You can also mention what different streets if you want, but this is the exact answer which you can also write. Question 4 you can also do in your book, but there is enough space to write T and F here, so it's up to you. But because we are writing learn to read in the notebook, you can just do it in the notebook too, so your work is all together, because these things will come in your test, okay? So number 4 is, here are some statements about the story. Say whether they are true or false. You can mark it just T and F. Part A, the sales assistant did not seem to be familiar with his customers. Yes, what is this, students? Of course, true, because the sales assistant was not friendly or any different with his customers. Otherwise, we would have seen that in the story. Nowhere did they tell us that he was familiar. This is not mentioned. So yes, this is true. He was not familiar with his customers. Part B. The whole mix-up was mainly due to the fact that each of them wanted their gift to be a secret. Yes, this is so true. If only they would have communicated and said, oh, let's get him a present, then they would have bought only one bell from all of them. But they all were just thinking, right? The word thinking was being used. None of them were saying out loud that I'm going to buy him a present. So if someone knew, they wouldn't have bought it as well. So of course, the whole mix-up is because it was a secret. True. Part C. Ryan noticed that everyone at home was calm and quiet. False. He noticed that they were going out and in again, right? He said it looks like a bus station. So this is false. He noticed that they were being weird, that they kept going in and out of the house. Part D. At the end of the day, it was the store owner who profited the most. Of course, true. How many bells were bought from that store in one day, students? 4. All the 4 family members bought a bell that day. So, of course, the store owner profited the most. What does profited mean? To earn the most. That they got the most stuff. They got the most money. They earned the most. So, this is true. So, these are the answers. Part A is true, Part B is true, Part C is false, Part D is true. If you want, you can write in your notebook like this, so you remember to go and read it in your book. Otherwise, you might forget if you skip it. Now come to the last question, number 5. What does the story tell you about the David family? What words would you use to describe them? So here we just have to use adjectives to describe this family. There are 4 family members, but what is their nature? So students, what did you notice in this family? What is their character like? Yes, they are kind, they are generous, they are thoughtful, they are attentive to others, right? So your answer can be something like this. They were united. United means they're all together. They're not fighting. They're together. They're united. Then you can write kind. So they were united. They're kind. Considerate. Considerate means they take care of each other. They're thinking about each other. Attentive to the needs of others. This means that they're paying attention to each other. If someone feels down, if someone's sad, if someone is tired, they want to take care of them, right? So this means attentive. Fun-loving. They're not being strict with each other. They're just having fun, right? The whole time they're just joking around with each other and they're not being mean. You can write and thoughtful. Thoughtful again means attentive and considerate. These are similar words, so you can write anything. Apart from this also, if you have any other ideas, you can write them. Now come to the next page where we have learn to read 2. So here we can either just discuss, or if you want to write these down in your notebook, you can as well, or you can make notes on your book. Up to you. So question 1 asks, do you think Ryan will ever find out the truth about the bells? What do you think, students? Will he? So unless the family members all discuss about this, oh, he likes my gift or something like that, then it could come out. Even Ryan could tell them that he went to the store and he bought the bell, right? So it could come out that way too, because when Ryan says that I bought the bell, everyone will realize that he's not using their bell. What else do you think, students? Yes, can you imagine if they look into the dustbin? The dustbin had all the bells in it, the broken one and the 3 new ones. So these are the 3 ways that the truth about the bells can come out. So it is possible. Number 2, what do you think he will do when he does find out? So number 1, of course, he will thank them. He will thank his family for being so thoughtful, because they all went out of their way and they went and bought him a new bell, and they tried to do it secretively to make him happy. Number 2, he can maybe take if he finds them in the dustbin, he could return them to the store as well, because they were brand new. So those are 2 things that can happen when he finds out. They can also joke about it and just laugh about this as a family. Number 3, what kind of story is this? What are your feelings after reading it? So this is varying to you all, right? All of these questions, they're about thinking. So you can write whatever you think. These are just my ideas. So the same way for number 3, you can write yourself. What kind of story is this? It's a funny family story, right? What are your feelings after reading it? You must be feeling happy. You must have had a few good laughs, right? So you could write that as well. So that wraps up today's class. Make sure to do all of your work properly, and the next class we will continue these exercises. See you next time, students. Allah Hafiz.